Hi, I'm Alvin Mabuza, and this is Money Moves, where we make your money move for you. Another episode, another day, another dollar, and we're gonna go around Stellenbosch asking people if they have some financial questions that we can answer for them. So come along, let's see who we can find. I see someone over there. So, hi, how are you?
Good and you?
I'm good. Sorry to interrupt you. My name is Alvin, and I'm from a show called Money Moves. And we basically go around and we ask people if they have any financial questions for us. So, what's your name?
My name is Rizan, and Alvin, don't startle me like that.
Not a problem, not a problem.
So they say compound interest is the eighth wonder of the
Okay,
world.
okay.
So can you maybe help me understand that better so that it can become my eighth wonder of my world?
Most definitely. So,
Cool.
fortunately for you, I have two great friends in the studio who know everything you need to know about the mystery of compound interest. Here we go.
Hi, hello, and welcome to the Money Moves studio, where we aim to educate, inform, and entertain. Thank you, Mabuza, for sending over Rizan's very, very interesting question, and that's a question that I've had several times in my life before. So, Paul, over to you to please delve deeper into the wonder that is compound interest.
Hi Ingrid, reporting from the beautiful Cape Town this morning. What are we drinking? As always, Ingrid, we are drinking coffee. No milk, no sugar, black as is, but hopefully the markets are green today. Still enjoying my cup, Ingrid. I love this cup. It's my favorite cup ever. But let's get into the content. So, compound interest. Einstein famously said that compound interest can be just as amazing as the Great Wall of China or the Colosseum, and therefore he called it the eighth wonder of the world. And he said it's one of the most powerful forces in the universe. So Einstein gave it a tick of approval. So what is it? Compound interest is interest on interest, or growth on growth, where your biggest asset and your biggest variable is time.
If Einstein chose to use the word force, this thing really has to be powerful. So, Paul, you said given enough time, it's actually money growing on money. That's now layman's understanding of what you just said. But before we go deeper into compound interest, explain the difference between simple interest and compound interest to me.
So Ingrid, if we consider simple growth first, simple growth on the left is where your principal doesn't increase over time. So the growth is always on the original principal. So for example, in year one, 10% growth on 1,000 Rand is 100 Rand. At the end of the year, you have 1,100 Rand, but then you withdraw the 100. So the growth now will be again on the original 1,000 Rand. And again, there's 100 Rand growth. Now your total value would be 1,200 over time. Yes, you've made 200 Rand over the last 2 years. But again, you withdraw the 200 Rand and you start afresh with 1,000 Rand. And again, a 10% growth on 1,000 Rand is 100 Rand. And now in total, you have 1,300 Rand. The 1,000 Rand original principal plus 3 years growth worth of 100, and so on and so forth. And after 35 years, you have 4,600 Rand. Now let's compare that with compound growth. And compound growth, remember guys, is where the principal increases every single year. The growth is added on top of the principal. So year one is exactly the same. 10% growth on 1,000 is 100 Rand. At the end of the year, we have 1,100 Rand. But now, and this is the crucial part, that 100 Rand growth is added to the principal, and now the next year starts with 1,100 as opposed to 1,000 in simple growth. And as you can see, now it grows by, instead of 100 Rand, it grows by 110 Rand. That is the 10% on the 1,100. At the end of the year, you have 1,210. After 5 years, there's no big difference between simple growth and compound growth. Simple growth, you'll have a total value of 1,500 Rand after 5 years and 1,611 after 5 years. So no big diff. But look now after 10 years. 2,100 versus 2,800, 15 years, 2006 versus 4,595. Now you can start seeing the difference. After 25 years, we have 3,600 versus almost 12,000 Rand. And finally, after 35 years, it's 4,600 versus almost 31,000 Rand. Now that is a massive difference over time. And let's look at a graph now. On the blue line, you have simple growth, the same every year, but compound interest or compound growth grows exponentially because every year that money grows by more and more and more as opposed to the previous year.
As you can see, there's the linear graph, which is simple interest, and then you get the exponential growth one, which is compound interest. And the gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Okay, so now that I have a better understanding of the difference between simple and compound interest, the super important element there is time, as you've just stated. So let's take me as an example. I have more than a couple of years to go until I retire. And can you please take me through the journey that I would go on if I started investing, let's say 2,500 Rand today, every month until I retire, and how compounding will have an effect on my investment?
Right, Ingrid, so let's take your scenario as our inputs. So how much monthly investments? It's 2,500 Rand. Next up, your yearly increase, in other words, how much more every year. So 2,500 Rand is a start. Let's just increase it by 6% a year with inflation. We know it's going to be more, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You're going to go up in life exponentially like compound growth, but for now, 6%. Lump sum, how much money do you have to start with? Let's just for this example say 0. So you start the fresh 0 Rand, 2,500 Rand per month. And how many years invested? Ingrid, you are now 27 and you're going to retire in about 35 years. So let's push this one up to 35 years. And finally, how aggressive are we investing for more than 5 years? So you're going to get an average of about 10% per year. And look at that, Ingrid. You'll have 16 million when you retire, which is a lot of money, by only investing 2,500 Rand. It's not without any lump sums, without any bonuses. And then what is this? What is this?
What is this? It's a parrot, but it's not applicable.
And this, guys, is compound growth. The gray represents your contribution. So how much money did you actually invest? And at the end of this investment horizon, you would have contributed 3.3 million Rand, but your growth is 12.6 million. So out of the 16 million total value, you only actually invested 3.3 million. The rest is just growth. And that is the power of compounding. Look at this exponential growth. And that is why Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world.
So now that I know that with compound interest, my golden years can sparkle and glitter, what can I do to amplify that in my current situation? What should I invest in? Who should I talk to? Educate me.
Of course, Ingrid. So how can you make your money grow as fast as possible? That is the $1 million question. That is the question I get the most, literally. And that's my job. But we will discuss that in the next episode. So viewers, stay tuned, subscribe, like, leave a comment. Thank you for the engagement thus far. And I will tell you all about how to maximize compound interest in the next episode.
Viewers, please join Paul and myself at this year's Woordfees, taking place in Stellenbosch from the 28th of September to the 6th of October. We have a discourse series taking place on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th of October, where we will discuss everything from how to be besties with SARS, where to invest your money, and then also Bitcoin, dollar, rand, or gold, what to do.